Hi.
Hi, sorry, I've just made you co-host so you can share your presentation. I'll just give it a couple more minutes and we'll let parents in, and then actually I'll start letting them in now so that we've got time and you can start.
Can I quickly check that the screen's working? Just 1 second.
Yeah, no worries.
Just to double check. Just using the past. Share screen. Yeah.
Yeah, can see that fine.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, all good.
Yeah, perfect. I will admit them.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. We're just waiting, give it a few more minutes to let some other parents come in. As we said, 4 o'clock, and then I will hand you over to Hannah from Ecoventure. Just all make sure you're muted for me, please, as you come in. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I will keep an eye on the waiting room, so if more people are joining, I will try and let them in as we go. I am Miss Smith, for those of you that don't know me. I'm head of year 5, and just shortly I'm going to pass you over to Hannah from Ecoventure, who is going to give you a little bit more information about the up and coming trip next week, and also give you the opportunity to ask any questions at the end. I do appreciate that this is a little bit shorter notice than we might usually have aimed for, and we do apologise for that. With the start of the year and the growth of the school, it's just taken a little bit longer to get set up than it normally would. So thank you for your patience and thank you for bearing with us, and hopefully we can answer any questions that you might have this afternoon. So I'll pass over to Hannah, who is joining us from Ecoventure. If you do have any questions that aren't answered, if you can save questions to the end of the meeting, please, so it gives Hannah the opportunity to answer them as we go through. But if at the end you do think of something, you can always feel free to email myself or Miss Howarth, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. I will share both our email addresses with you again at the end of the session. Okay, so thank you for joining us today, Hannah, and over to you.
Thank you very much. Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Hannah, and I am the School Relations Manager for Ecoventure. Now, I'm just going to share my screen, so hopefully everyone will be able to see the presentation that I've created. Yep, perfect. Thank you. Okay. So obviously we're here today to talk about the year 5 and 6 residential trip, which is happening from the 12th to the 14th of October. and your children will be heading to Uaq Marine Club. Now, first of all, just a bit of information about Ecoventure, if you don't know of us. So we have been operating in the UAE now for over 11 years. And pre-COVID, we were actually seeing over 11,000 students into our program every year. And the target is to get back to that again this year, which is fantastic, if not even more. We have 8 locations globally. 4 of those are in the UAE, and then we have 4 international locations as well. So in regards to transportation, we do not own our own buses as of yet. So we are using a third-party provider, which is SDS Transport, which is the GEMS provider for transportation anyway. So you should all know of them. On the morning of the trip, there is always an Ecoventure representative on site. They have all sorts of different safety checks in regards to the bus. And if anything is deemed to be unsafe, a new bus is dispatched straight away before any child does step onto the buses. I'm not sure if you're actually aware, but the rule in Dubai is that the yellow school buses that our children usually go on are not actually allowed to leave the Emirate, so they're not allowed to leave Dubai, which is why we have to use the white luxury coaches that you can see in the picture here. So it's a nice little upgrade for the children. So we are heading to Uaq Marine Club that you can see here. Now it is one of our water campsites. It's a really beautiful location. It's always loved by the children and the teachers as well. It is just over an hour away from Dubai. However, as the children will be traveling by coaches, we do allow an extra 15 to 30 minutes maximum travel time. So maximum an hour and a half away from Dubai. So this is one of the communal areas of UAQ. To be honest, we don't usually get too much opportunity to use this throughout the time, as we do keep the children so busy, but it is there just in case. So it is dormitory accommodation that you can see here in the picture. It's a maximum of 8 students per dormitory, so that is 4 bunk beds. Then on the left, you can see is the shower block. So everything is fully covered by doors, so it's nice and private. And then to the right of the picture, you can see there's the toilets as well. So everything is, of course, separated by males and females. Okay, so in terms of activities, we do have this fantastic climbing wall and high ropes area at UAQ. I always do make a point on this, not only to the children, but to the parents as well. We never force a child to do anything that they did not feel comfortable with. However, we are always positively encouraging them to give everything a go. So for example, with the climbing, we ask them to create their own unique goal for this activity. So for them, whether that is just putting on the equipment, whether that's getting 1 foot onto the climbing wall, or whether that is getting all the way to the top, we still really, positively congratulate them for achieving their goal. And next time ask them to and encourage them to go 1 step further. It's climbing again. Then we have sensory trail. So you will see throughout our activities, the common theme is team building. So most of our activities do incorporate team building. So here you can see the children are blindfolded and they have to work together in a team to get through a simple obstacle course that we have set up for them using only their senses. Then we have problem solving. So problem solving is very similar to team challenges in that, again, the children are working together as a team to solve all sorts of different challenges that we have set up for them. Then archery, always loved by all of the students. They always absolutely love this. Then, of course, as it is a water site, we will be making the use of the water. So different activities we have here are kayaking, Then we have raft building. So with raft building, again, usually working in groups of usually 4 or 5. They have to try and build a raft together and to try to get it to float on the water. I do always use the word try because it doesn't always end up working out that way. So the students do usually get extremely wet, but this is always what they love about this activity. You can always hear lots of laughs and giggles during this activity. And finally, we also have canoeing as well. So hopefully you noted that in all of those pictures, the children are required to wear a helmet and a life jacket. So everything is extremely safe for the students. Then we have low ropes. So low ropes is very similar to, I always explain it to the students, the floor is lava. It's a very similar kind of concept to that. Again, team building activity. They have to try and complete their way around the obstacle course setup. And finally, we have leap of faith, which is probably one of our most high adrenaline activities that we do have for the children. I'm not sure if you yourselves have done this activity. I think I've probably done it about 100 times. And every single time I do it, I still get nervous. As soon as you get onto that plank, the nerves do take over. But I assure you, once you achieve this activity, that overwhelming sense of achievement and adrenaline really does, take over you. Of course, again, I will mention we will not force any child to do any activity they did not feel comfortable with. But with this, for example, we do try to encourage them even just to get onto the plank, whether they jump or not. We're still encouraging them to, get one step further each time. And finally, not only are we doing activities during the daytime with them, we also do different activities into the evening. One of those is always a campfire. Again, always loved by all of the children. It's always highly requested. It's a really great opportunity for them to disconnect, unwind after such a busy day on camp, and of course connect with their new friends that they have made throughout the day. And we're singing some camp songs, we're doing some camp games, and always most importantly to the children, we are roasting marshmallows as well. Okay, so obviously I understand that we have already registered now, so all of that is sorted. However, I just want to give a brief reason of why these residential trips are so beneficial for your children to attend. Of course, different things like building confidence, as you could see there, it's a really great opportunity for them to do activities that they may have never had access to before. Making new friends, this is a new school year. Maybe, this is a great opportunity for them to connect with children that they would not otherwise do throughout their school day. Making memories. I always say I still remember the residential trips that I went on as a child, and those memories are still instilled into me to this very day, which is another reason why I actually took on this job. And most importantly, instilling independence in your children. Now, this may be your child's first opportunity to have a residential trip, especially after COVID times. We're finding this a lot more common now that children have not had access to these residential trips where they usually would have been doing them from year 3. So that is a big thing for children and for parents alike. So any additional information, so we can cater to any dietary requirements or allergies. We do just please ask that you mention that during the registration process. As soon as you do register through Ecoventure's system, you will receive a kit list as well. We do ask that everything is fully labeled, all of your child's belongings. As you could see, they are sharing their accommodation with their friends. It is natural. They get so busy, they just take their clothes off, don't really keep everything contained. So by the end of the trip, it is natural that things are everywhere. So we do ask that everything physically is labeled, even down to socks, so that we can easily locate them back again to the child. And finally, most importantly, no mobile phones or electronics are allowed onto any of our camps. Now, there are a lot of reasons why we did create this rule, one of them being the safety, and another being that, the whole reason for these residential trips is for the child to disconnect and unwind from the outside world. We found that when children still had access to their devices, they weren't really fully getting involved into the experience. They were still on their phones, playing games, texting, whatever they're doing these days, who knows. When we did change this rule, we found a massive difference in the children's behavior and their involvement into the camps. Now, of course, I am a mother too, so I do understand your natural thought is, how will I contact my child? Now, I won't speak specifically for Wellington Alcale, as every school does have their own way of keeping in contact with the parents. However, from our side, we do have all of your emergency contact details should the need to arise to contact yourselves. Okay, so this is an example food menu. It is an example, but it just gives you a great overview of the kind of food that is available on site. No matter what, there is always a vegetarian option as well as a meat option. So there's always both options. There is always a salad bar available during lunches and dinners, and there is fruit on offer during every meal as well. And not only do they get their 3 meals a day, but there's also snacks provided for them throughout. Obviously, it is a lot of high activities where they're using a lot of energy, so we do make sure that they're getting a lot of food throughout the day. So hopefully you will have already all registered through Ecoventure. I think there's just a few more to go, but we are almost there. So it will take you to a similar kind of link to this. That's just an example to give you an overview. If you have not already registered through Ecoventure's system, but have paid for the trip, I do please ask that you go ahead and do this. It's extremely important. And from our side, we can't actually accept any child onto our trips even if they have paid, but they have not registered for our system, as it means that 1, you are not covered on our insurance, and 2, you have not signed our own terms and conditions, and 3, we don't know any child's dietary, medical conditions, emergency contact details. So it is extremely imperative that you please do go ahead and register through our system if not already done so. Okay, and as soon as you do register, you will, at the top of the confirmation email, there will be a link that you can find the kit list, which looks just like this. So it is nice and clear. We try to make it as foolproof as possible of everything your child would need onto one of our trips. And finally, you will also receive a parent's handbook. In here, it has a wealth of information about what to expect, what to bring. It has a large FAQ section at the back of all sorts of regular questions that we do get asked. If there is anything in here that has not been answered, please do first of all check with the school teachers. And if there's anything very specific that they cannot answer, they will always revert it over to Ecoventure as well. Now that is it in terms of the presentation. Now I do hope that that has given you all a great overview of what our trips do look like. I'm just going to open up the chat. And if anyone does have any questions, please do feel free to pop them into the chat. Okay, I see Ms. Smith, you've answered.
Hi, sorry, I have been trying to filter some as they've been coming into the chat. I've been trying to answer them. The child-teacher ratio, we have children split into 8 groups. There will be a teacher for every group of children completing the activities, and there will be 2 spare teachers also. So we have 10 adults going in total, 1 for each activity group to go around with the children and 2 spare teachers to float around. There are only 12 children that haven't completed the link. The link is, the payment option is now closed. We have all of the registrations bar 12 children, and those will be sent out this evening.
Sorry, I'm just trying to filter through as well.
No worries.
It's Uaq Marine Club, Juliet Egu. Sorry if I've said that name wrong. Which WEC teachers are going, Miss Smith?
It's still yet to be finalised. There are going to be teachers from year 5 and from year 6, and then some support staff going as well, both male and female.
Sorry, the name is phase 3. No, unfortunately that registration link will not work for this year's trip. It is a brand new link. So Miss Smith, I think, will you share that again?
Yeah, the new link will be sent out this evening.
Perfect. Activities. Zaryab, sorry everyone if I'm saying these names incorrectly. No, so it's not like a pick and choose, so they can't pick and choose what activities they will do. It is a set timetable, and they are put into groups, and then they switch between the groups. However, as mentioned, if there is anything that your child does not feel comfortable with, we would never force them to do anything that they really did not feel comfortable with. And we always have ways to incorporate them into the activities no matter what. Even with the climbing, we can just have the children help belay up the children and help them with the equipment. So there's always different ways to keep them incorporated. We would never have a child just sat there not joining in. So don't worry about that. About the kit lists, yeah, so it is on the registration confirmation. So if you please do check again, it's right at the top. It is there. A few people have missed this in the past, so I understand that some people may have missed it, but it is definitely there. And I will put at the bottom our email link. So if you really can't find it, please do reach out to us and we will ensure to get that sent for you. Sorry, I have to go back up now.
In terms of what time will the children leave, they will need to be in school at normal time on the Wednesday, and they will be returned to school, I believe it's for about 3 o'clock. Is that right, Hannah? On the Friday?
Yeah, around 2:30 to 3. Yeah.
So from Wednesday, you bring them in normal time, for the normal school day, so that we can register them before they leave, and then we will be returning later on the Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, most of these questions are about the kit list.
Yeah.
Ms. Smith, I will share the kit list with you as well, just in case, but definitely it is there on the confirmation email. And if anyone is having issues with that, please do email us. I ask. Yeah, so in regards to the sleeping bags, yes, we do ask for sleeping bags. To be honest, it's a rule that we did start during COVID time. So although the children are not camping, they are not in tents. We did start this during COVID times last year because of hygiene reasons. And we actually found a really great uptake with it, that the children really enjoyed having their own sleeping bag, having that kind of camping feel and camping experience, even though that they are not physically camping, they are in dormitories and on beds. So it is a rule that we, continued because of that. When do we see? Yeah, literally all inside the dormitory. Poisonous bugs, scorpions. So they are at Uaq Marine Club. So it's kind of like a similar kind of experience to them being at a hotel in a beach resort in Dubai. It's that kind of same experience. It is on the beach. I cannot fully guarantee that there would not be bugs on the site. I don't think in a country like the UAE, which is a desert country, anyone can fully guarantee that. However, obviously there is regular pest control. I can say that in all the times that we have gone to UAQ, we have never had that problem. However, no one can 100% guarantee that there would not be bugs at the site. And about my son said he saw a scorpion. For sure, I would have known about that if that did happen. The kids do like to, you know, add stories and things like that. That from my side, if it was an Ecoventure trip, I'm not sure if it was Ecoventure or not, but from my side, there was no tales of that whatsoever. The children do, you know, especially when they're on these kind of trips, they do kind of like to put the stories. We always do as well. As soon as they arrive onto the camp, we do like a safety kind of briefing with the children to say, if you do see a scorpion, if you do see, you know, it's kind of like a standardized safety briefing that we do on all of our camps. And, you know, from that, some children do like to bring stories back. Try to put our password. You don't need a Mervat, you don't need a password. If you just scroll down, you'll be able to register. And the password is only if you already have a login with us, because obviously we've had this last year as well. So some parents do already have a login, so they can straight away log in, and all of that information is there. But all you need to do is scroll down and you'll see the registration from there. What time? Yeah, that's answered. Do the children bring snacks? Yes, so it's always a question that does come up. We do not encourage it, please, as much as possible. We do encourage that you do not pack snacks for your child. I do assure you that they are well catered for in the food department, that we do make sure that they have enough food throughout the day, and especially carby food, to make sure that they are filled and getting enough carbohydrates. Also, that will bring me back onto the bugs question that we had. Of course, when children are bringing snacks, we can't be sure on how they are being stored. And, you know, that will attract bugs, especially when they are sharing accommodation. If there's things being left around, open packets of crisps or biscuits or whatever it is they have, that will be the thing that will be attracting the bugs onto the camp. So we please do ask that no snacks are provided. Yeah, so I mean, literally most of these are kit list and parents handbook. So as mentioned lots of times, if you did not receive it, please do email info@ecoventureme.com. I did put that in there. Oh, hang on, sorry, I think it's gone through as a direct message. Sorry, 1 second. Let me change that. I don't know how. For some reason. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry, so I can just send that to everyone now. So it should be at the bottom of the thread. Yeah, so if you did not receive it, please do email the below, and we will be sure to send it on. But please, again, do check the registration confirmation email. And at the top, it does say you can find the kit list here, and you click it. You can find the parents handbook here, and you click it. Where are we up to? Yeah, most of them again about food. That's been answered.
Hi, Belka. I will send out a kit list to everybody as well. Once Hannah shares that with me, I will send that out as a generic email to all year 5, 6 parents. And obviously it only applies if you're on the Ecoventure trip, and our contact number as well, and contact email.
Yes, the pickup will be from the school again. Need to wear school PE uniforms or normal clothes? No, they can just wear their normal clothes for the camps.
Hi, Saima. If your child's name is not on the above list and you have paid, you are already registered. You don't need to worry. It's only the children's names who I put in the list above who have paid and haven't yet completed the Ecoventure link. So if those parents could email me, I will get that link out to you tonight. I don't have access to everybody's emails, obviously, because some children are in year 6. Most of the year 5 parents, I can get their email, but if your child's in year 5 or 6 and their name is on that list, if you can email me as soon as possible, I will get that link over to you tonight to register. That means you've paid, but you've not yet registered. If you've not paid and not registered, unfortunately, Ecoventure is full and your child will not be able to come on this trip this time, unfortunately.
Miss Smith, sorry.
Sorry.
Where is the list actually?
Sorry, it's in the chat just above. If you scroll up a little bit, I have put it in there. There's only about 12 children's names.
It is gone to, I think, some personal, or it is not to send to everyone.
It's in, oh, sorry, I've put it into waiting room. Sorry, that's my fault. All of my messages have. Let me,
what I do as well.
sorry, I've now changed that. Bear with me 1 second. I'll put that back in. Apologies.
And whilst we're on that, John Bramley, is it? That's a good question. Should we bring a suitcase or backpack? We do definitely recommend that all children have backpacks. Of course, if every child is bringing a suitcase, they are sharing the accommodation, there is just not enough space for 8 suitcases in those rooms. So we do definitely recommend that they have backpacks. Even a school backpack is more than enough. It's just 2 nights. They only need a couple of spare pair of clothes. You know, there's not actually that much that the children need because all equipment is provided by us, and their sleeping bag they can just carry in them in, you know, their other hand. So yes, definitely backpacks. Food.
Sorry, Miss Smith again. This is a list of students who have registered. Sorry.
This is a list of the children who have paid but not yet registered. If your child's name is not on that list and you have paid already, then you have already registered as well. So you're fine. You don't need to do anything. The only people that need to send me an email are the parents of the children whose names are on that list. If you haven't yet paid,
your email? Can you please send your email into the chat?
Yeah, I'll do that now. Make sure it goes to everybody.
Hello, sorry, there is a confusion.
Guys, can we put hi, can everybody just mute please and put your messages, your questions into the chat? So obviously there's about over 70 participants. If everyone's talking at the same time, we'll get a little bit, we'll try and answer them as much as possible. I will put my email in now.
Didn't receive. Okay, so that's been answered. Didn't receive the ticket. Share this email. Sorry, we're just going through the comments.
Kit list will be sent out to everybody. I'll send a generic email to all 5 and 6 with a kit list on tonight.
So Sima, so yes, so as mentioned, if your child's name is not on the above list, then it means then you have already registered and you don't need to worry.
Yeah.
So the kids will go normally to the school by bus the day of the trip. Yes, I think that's right, Miss Smith, right?
Yeah.
The bus is
yeah, if your child normally gets the bus, they can come in on the bus on that Wednesday morning. They'll be here for normal registration. Once everybody's in, then we will leave.
Registered, cleared as well.
If you can send me a registration, if you can send me an email, please, direct to the email I've just put into the chat, I can just reply. It's much quicker. I can just reply straight back to you with the link. So that would be really helpful, please. If your child's name is one of those children on that list, if you could shoot me an email. Yeah, that would be really helpful. Thank you. Yes, the children will need pajamas.
Ariane, about the Emirates ID, no, because that's one of the questions that we have from our side. We ask for everyone's Emirates IDs, so that's not a requirement to send to the school.
No, on Wednesday, the children can come in their own clothes. They don't need to come in uniform. They can come straight into school ready to go to Ecoventure. And they'll probably be doing activities as soon as they get there. So if they could come in sportswear, ready to participate in activities as soon as they get there, that's also helpful, please, with trainers. shorts, t-shirt, whatever they need to be active.
Hi, Ms. Smith and Hannah. Sorry, this is Ginny. Just a quick one. I may have missed this, but did we say that we have to fill in another form which goes directly to Ecoventure, or?
Ginny, only if Vihan's name's on the list, which I don't think it is.
No,
So if,
no, absolutely. But
Yeah.
is there something else that we need to fill in
No,
before they go?
no.
Okay, perfect. That's all.
Only if your child's name's on that list, then you have to do the link. If you're not on that list, you're absolutely fine. You've done everything you need to do.
On Wednesday, do we go in the morning or at 3? Mosa? No, so it would be normal timings on the Wednesday.
Okay, I think most of the same questions are coming through now. If you do have any more questions or anything that you feel hasn't been answered, if you can email myself directly or Miss Howarth, whose email you also have, we will get back to you as soon as possible. Kit list will be sent out and shared tonight. And if those parents who have children whose names on that list can email me, I will get the registration link straight through to you. I think you do need to do a new registration link, Liddy. It's a new one each trip, but as I said, the kit list will be sent out tonight to everybody anyway, so you don't need to worry if that's your concern. Apart from that, my email's in the chat. You've got Miss Howell's email. If you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. And thank you, Hannah, for joining us and sharing that information today.
Thank you so much, everyone. I do hope that has helped to answer any questions that you may have had. And yes, we look forward to welcoming all your children onto our camp with us next week. We're all very excited. And yes, have a lovely evening, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.
Miss Smith?